Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here.
And Mrs. Hood here.
And we're here to answer your questions that you sent in for the channel on the Q&A session number 4. Should be good.
Should be really good. We've got a lot of fantastic questions for you.
Awesome, let's get rolling. Right, well, I guess we better just start ploughing on with these questions, and I put myself in your capable hands, Mrs. Hood.
Thank you very much, Robin. You got a lot of fantastic questions from your subscribers,
Lovely.
Which was brilliant. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Robin, I have literally lifted and shifted most of the questions that we were given. So there are a lot of them.
Okay.
So it is very important to make sure that this is not a 3-hour video.
Yeah.
That you're as concise as possible.
Yeah, move, shoot, move. Yeah, okay, I'm on.
I think we all know that this will be challenging.
Yeah, challenge accepted, though.
I will try and keep you on track. So starting off with a fantastic question from Elliot Wright, YV22ZN.
Oh, don't read out the letters and numbers, yeah. It'll be all day.
Okay. What advice would you give to someone wanting to start a YouTube channel?
Wow. Okay. That's hard to be succinct, but I think you've got to really love it for a start before you, the subject that you pick for your YouTube channel. I really like Lego. But still, I have a lot of days where it's very hard to get started because you're doing it kind of relentlessly in all your spare time if you're going to make a good go of it. And if you don't put 100% of your effort in, then it's probably not going to be that good. Therefore, you've got to be willing to put in 100% of your effort. So you've really got to enjoy doing your subject matter. Otherwise, it's just going to become a chore. And then just one more minor point would be, I'm getting looks by Mrs. Hood already. One more minor point would just be to do a video that you'd want to watch, essentially. I think that's a good starter. Yeah.
As wife of a YouTuber, I think I have got a couple of things to add.
Okay.
I think I was really surprised at how much time this takes. This is effectively a second job for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that YouTube algorithm is brutal. We're celebrating today because you've literally just tipped over 34,000 subscribers, which is amazing.
But it should be 100.
You've put so much hard work into it. So I would also say ignore the algorithm. So because if you start just basing your worth on how many subscribers you have, it is a spiral to despair. Yeah.
You definitely need to be resilient. And arguably don't look at that figure too hard because you'll go mad, quite frankly. I think that's a good point, Mrs. Hood. Well made.
But on the good side, if you are lucky, like Robin, you can have a wonderful community that generates around your channel and it
bigging up the listeners. I like it. Yeah, no, but it's true. It's all the good comments I get that probably give me the most reward rather than that figure ticking over. Yeah. I think that's true.
Yeah, so wonderful. Right, moving on. I'm afraid I'm not even going to try reading out this name because it's just a jumble of letters and numbers. Have you ever planned releasing and selling instructions for your mock buildings, for example, Brick Nottingham Mall?
So I have, and I constantly do. It's quite tricky for a number of reasons, which I'll try and keep brief. One is I use a lot of very interesting and complicated and rare parts, partly because that's what interests me and it's good for you guys to watch as well, which means that when I do the instructions, including them just makes them unobtainable for some people without making it too costly. So then you'd have to do an alternative build for not using those parts or something. 2, it takes an absolute age, and we've already covered the sort of time that it takes on the channel to do everything else. So that is another reason. And I'm sure there was a third one, but I've forgotten it. But yeah.
Well, the nice thing is that actually, you know, people can be inspired about your thought process because you do go through in quite a lot of detail.
And I do try and show it so it's almost copyable. I mean, some people, believe it or not, have made a fast food corner and sent me pictures of it, and they must have spent hours trawling through the videos. Though I have done a build file for that, but that took absolutely ages. And also I build an LDD, which isn't really supported and doesn't really upload to anything very well, and doesn't make the best instructions and stuff like that. So it's just a complete pain. But I might be starting to release a few train instructions with the help of a collaborator, Brick Artisan, who you may well know does a lot of mocks online. We're just sort of working out whether we can make this work. So that's cool. Some news for the future.
Wonderful. So it's not quite a no, but it's not quite a no. Sort of a no.
But I need help.
Next question from Alistair McDonald. Hi Robin, my household loved the channel. Yay. And during a recent brick haul, we wondered if you knew how many unique parts you have, including different colours and prints. and how many minifigs in your city?
I have literally no idea of even working it out, short of just going around trying to count them on my fingers and toes. A lot. I mean, the minifigures, because I keep buying and not putting them out. Because, certain areas of the city are supposed to be crowded. The fairground's got quite a crowd, you'd think. But I was going to have it absolutely rammed like a real fairground, like with no room to sort of fit another minifigure in. And I've got the minifigures to do that, both there on the boardwalk. Just a few places going to have a really big crowd. The boardwalk doesn't have studs, which is quite annoying. I might do that differently if I was doing it again. But I would say I've got about 200 minifigures that aren't in the city, and then, I don't know, 300 in it? I don't know. I'm going to guess, I think more, though. I mean, golly, I've probably got about 200 series minifigures. I'm going to say 1,000.
Goodness, yes. Well, I don't know quite what to say to that.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit...
Embarrassment of riches. I got sent them. It wasn't my fault.
I know.
It's not true.
Next question from Lord Value Mart.
Good name.
Yeah, very good name. Hi, Robin. How do you decide the best use of space in your room?
Is there someone?
No, that's it.
Okay. A lot of planning. I don't just plow on. The entire first side of the room with the marina on and stuff, I had that absolutely planned out pretty much to the stud. Not of every fence post or anything, but just what was going where before I even started, including all the different levels of the tables and stuff like that. And then the everything towards the fairground was a bit more make it up as you go along, which is why some of it's been delayed. But it's difficult to sort of explain a methodology. I think you've got to think about the main things that you want to incorporate. So I needed to get my monorail in, which is very unwieldy because it has very large, long pieces of track, so it's not very sort of flexible. And I wanted to get bridges going over a bay, and then I wanted a lower marina, and then it kind of just expanded from then. And then I wanted a castle, so I thought I'll put it over the track. So I don't know that there's anything other than just spending a lot of time thinking about it, then taking a break and then thinking about it again, really. Because, but as you know, I do prioritize getting things in so I get the most value for my money. So that's why I don't do, say, any double modular build that's going to be horizontal, because I don't want to take up two base plates with the same idea. So if anything, I have to rein myself in from doing, say, a great big monster truck stadium, because it'd be one thing and it'd take up half my room. So if I had a huge amount of space, I'd be able to be a bit more expansive. But even then, I think I'd just go for more dense stuff and just have more. I mean, you think about those Ninjago cities, they're so cool just because there's something going on literally every 2 inches. So it's that's what I'm trying to replicate in a way. And that's why I think I've still got a bit of mileage in the room just to add more.
Yeah, there's always room to squeeze something else in. And I think we've said before that actually he's peeking. I thought you were peeking at the laptop screen. No. That's good. No, I think we said before that actually, being Europeans rather than Americans, we're sort of more used to having everything all sort of cramped up in very busy spaces.
And weird things being next to other things, and not the grid network. The one criticism I have, it's not really a criticism, but a lot of the American channels, they have their cities all done on a very rigorous grid network. But that's true to their real life. It's true to their cities, so that makes sense for them. But I much prefer I really like things like Apollo Arcade. It's all twisty. It's sort of a dead end. It doesn't really make much sense. But that is the UK. That's how we live.
Absolutely. Right, next question. Just Add Bricks, which is a name that I know from the past.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Robin. Your channel always brings joy and happiness to me. And whenever I see you've uploaded it, it perks my day, especially as this year wasn't the greatest. Oh, Just Add Bricks. Sorry to hear that. So 2 questions from Just Add Bricks.
Yeah.
The first question is, if money and space was no object for your Lego collection and your Lego city,
right,
what features, areas or builds would you want to include that your current city and space does not allow for?
Oh, I have thought about this before. So one idea I had was kind of to do a motor racing track. Okay, so far so boring, but to do it on the streets. So when they do something like was it Monaco? Yeah. They sort of put all the barriers on, closing off streets, and then you could still have all the shops and stuff in, as the buildings around it. But then you'd have racing cars burning around some of the streets. And you could have that as a facade, so you don't need kind of half the track, I suppose, going into the wall and coming out again. So that I would quite like. I'd quite like to do a big stadium as well. And more recently, that's moved from sports to a monster truck one. I thought that'd be hilarious with all those new stunt sets, because they're just so cool. and then you could actually safely fire all those motorbikes around. What else I thought? I think I'd do an even bigger fairground. I think I'd do everything just a bit more. I tell you what I'd really love is more trains. I mean, I've got 2 loops. It's really boring, but it takes up so much space. And in that room, I wanted to get more buildings in, which I have. But I would definitely have 3, 4 loops and bigger loops and not just straightforward loops. So, yeah.
There's a lot that you're not able to do at the moment.
Yeah,
Isn't there?
well, yeah. Can't really complain, though, can I?
all about prioritisation.
Yeah.
So, a second question from Just Our Bricks, which is to me, Mrs. Hood, if you could include one thing in Brick Nottingham and Robin was forced to include it, what would it be?
All right.
So, actually, I'm going to answer the question in a bit of an interesting way, in the fact that I don't really care what Robin puts in the city. I think, I'm not a Lego fan. I'm occasionally quite interested by the modular builds as they come up, because I think they're fantastic. But I think Robin always does a fantastic job of choosing what goes in Brick Nottingham. I am not a massive superhero fan, but there are some superheroes that I like Firestar and Wonder Woman and Kate Bishop. And so I have managed to sort of cajole Robin into buying sets that have those minifigures in, and then I take the minifigures and put them in my study. So it's more about the fact that what can Robin buy that I can pinch.
Ah, okay. So you wouldn't want anything in Brick Nottingham, like a base for them?
No, because they live in my study.
Fair dues.
And next question from Eric V. Robin, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Has a child ever visited Brick Nottingham, and did you fear the impact of little hands?
A child has visited.
Hello, Lewis.
Hello, Lewis. And yeah, it was a very pleasant visit. I did have to repair a couple of things, but I can't say that was entirely his fault at all. Like the GBC chain broke, but that's just from demonstrating it. I think it's because the battery ran out and gave it a bit of a jolt, actually. I actually fixed that yesterday. So no, it wasn't that stressful, actually. But I'm not saying that I'm going to start opening it to the public, though.
I would say that Lewis is a mega fan of this channel and actually has a fantastic Lego city of his own. So it wasn't so much a visit of a child; it was more of a visit of a fellow Lego.
Yeah, we did some swaps, didn't we?
Did some swaps.
Yeah, it's all good.
It was a really lovely visit, and hello Claire and Simon as well.
Hi.
Next question from Andrew Field. Question from the Field family, but mainly JJ and Andrew. Consider 50 years in the future. Do you see your brilliant Lego city and everything else being part of an amazing packed and stacked exhibition in Nottingham?
Perhaps well, theoretically, I suppose. I mean, the only way I've thought about that in the past is sort of thinking that would I be sort of proud of my video legacy in looking back on it in 30 years' time. I think I certainly would. So I think that's almost as good a legacy. And if people keep clicking on it, it'll keep bringing in a little bit of money as well, which would be nice. But yeah, I mean, it would be a shame whenever it did happen inevitably to take it all apart to not rebuild it somewhere else. So yeah, I think maybe it should be donated if I could find a custodian to look after it long after I've quit. Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, it would be a great incentive for Lego to actually open a Lego store in Nottingham and house Brick Nottingham as an exhibition within there.
Oh, I don't think they'd do that, but yeah.
That would be
I don't think they do either part of that, but
anyway. Next question from Agaricus. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Hood. Happy New Year. What are each of your favourite sections and secrets in the city?
Ooh.
Shall I go first?
Yeah,
I've got to.
If you've got them.
Bit muckily. I love the toilet scene.
Yeah.
That the secret toilets, underground toilets, I think it make me laugh every time. And I also love the beach with all of the different comedic
vignettes sort of thing.
On the beach.
That you especially like the lady being shown in changing when she's not got her bottoms on.
I like the couple
the red
looking
man.
At the
the
Baywatch babe and the red man.
Yeah.
I also like Mr. Pig and his pile of chuck. So there are a number of things on that bit that make me giggle.
Yeah, I think I think the whole brick bay sort of edge, so that includes the beach on one side and the marina on the other, I really like. I mean, that is the bit, like I said earlier, that I planned the most probably. And it's got more subtle variations in height, and it sort of builds up from that very low level at the edge of the tables up higher. And I really like both sides of that for that reason. It's just very different from a lot of Lego cities when it, when it's all flat. And so I really like the marina side going into the market square and the steps, and there's loads of scenes there, like somebody, picking up behind their dog, or being presented a check, or just doing some skateboarding, or the old guy on his mobility scooter. So I like all of that. What was the second part? It was areas and secrets. I'm trying to think about the secrets. My favourite secret's got to be anything involving Dr. Inferno, really. So I like the fact that huge warehouse is actually full of a massive mech that's going to destroy everything.
But you can't see it.
But you can't see it. Yes, there's so many things I build that you can't see, including several interiors and so on. But I know it's there.
Yeah, I like the casino that you can't see.
The casino you can't see is good, yeah.
Next question from the sci-fi guy. Following the aquarium carriage shown in your latest train video, are there any other prototypes that we haven't seen that you could show or tell us about if they have been dismantled again?
I was considering this for an idea for a series, actually, things that didn't make the cut, so to speak, because I've got probably more on digital files, like you say, than half made. That one I didn't have any use for those parts yet, so it didn't sort of get taken apart. But yeah, there's been definitely fairground rides and buildings, and some I might still do. So I guess that's why I always keep my powder dry. And then there's a few projects that I've mentioned a few times that I'm either not happy with, or need a new burst of energy on. So I was going to do the theatre that was based on the Friends theatre that was out the other year. But then a lot of people did a similar thing, and I thought, oh, that sort of took the wind out of my sails a bit. The biggest one was a modular I got halfway through, which was a courthouse.
Oh, yes.
Which is really cool, what I've done. And it's sort of modelled a bit on the council house in Nottingham, which is our sort of town hall. And I don't know, I kind of ran out of steam. But I've not shown that because I might pick that up again one day. And the problem there is I was sort of thinking, where's it going to go? I'd have to get rid of another modular, which made it less sort of exciting to do when you know that it's going to kill something else. So, yeah, there is quite a few. Yeah, I have to see. If I'm ever going to pick them back up again, I'd rather not show them in their sort of state of undress. And I'm not sure there's a huge amount to see, but it's quite a niche sort of subject, I suppose.
I mean, I think it worked quite well with your recent whirling train, whatever that was called.
The torpedo wagon.
That's the one where you actually showed it sort of mid-design and got some feedback as to whether it was a go or not. That I thought was quite an interesting approach.
Yeah, and it was because I was literally at that stage then. That was a very live sort of situation. So, yeah, it worked well because it sort of gave me the encouragement to get it over the line, yeah.
Yeah. Right, next question. Zander McComb. What happened to the fairground? It's my favourite series. I'm missing it.
Right. Yes, so I sometimes get stalled by trying to make a tricky decision, and I was trying to make a decision on that final area. At one point I was going to have a pop concert with loads of people sort of motorised bouncing around, kind of like the one Lego Paradise did. Then I was sort of thinking, well, I could do 2 more rides in there, or what would I do? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I eventually decided on doing that rodeo bull ride based on the idea that someone sent in for that sort of Newton's, what was it, Archimedes thingy. Yeah, that. So the rodeo bull's great. So the rodeo bull's ready to go in. I needed one more piece, which I'd just got in the last haul, so that can go in. And now I can do the final bit. But I agree, it's about a year, 2 years maybe overdue finishing. Yeah. It just needs to. But I would love to make that even bigger. It's really good fun area.
It's pretty packed and stacked, that one, isn't it? We have got hundreds of questions, so I am just going to keep ploughing through.
Yep.
Matt Strott, how do you sort and organise your bricks? What does your workspace look like?
So I don't have some amazing system. People keep saying, oh, let's see, you've probably got loads of little drawers that's all organised and labelled. No, it's all in plastic bags and a complete mess, and in cardboard boxes. Got a couple of totes, but essentially it's only I know where everything is, and not always even then. So
One of you can always tell when a video is going badly when Robin is running up and down the stairs because he knows he's got a specific brick,
yeah.
but he doesn't quite know where he has put
And it might be that I've run up to steal another one off some other set that I've already got because I just can't find it. But anyway, yeah, so it's not a fantastic system by any stretch of the imagination. And what was the second part of the question? And what does my workspace look like? It was it's the desk I film on, but I also work on that desk for work. So basically, it comes and goes. So usually, there's sort of piles of projects that are either half done or getting ready to be filmed or waiting for that last part on every flat surface. So my room sometimes, which is why I said I was going to do a room tour, and then I didn't, and it's because very, very quickly, what was a tidy room, because I just tidied it basically, became an absolute bomb site again within about 2 weeks. So I'll have to clean it up again and give you a quick tour, and then you can see for yourself.
Sometimes when you bring him a cup of tea, it's like an obstacle course. Yeah. You have to climb over various Lego boxes, which are all precious and cannot be touched.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Next question, Bailey Frith Day, sorry. And actually, Cyroid asked this as well. If you were to guess how much your entire Lego display costs, how much would it be and how do you fund it?
Well, the funding bit's easy. It's from all of your views and your clicks and your support. And if you want to support this video, you can by clicking one of the links in the description. And yeah, so it's purely funded by you, really. I don't make any money on it. I put in all my hours and all my love for free, but the sort of,
Super secret piece.
I put in all my sort of effort for free, and I guess my reward is that I get to buy a lot more pieces than I'd probably be happy doing if I were using solely my own money. So I think the collection is clearly into, well, I don't know, 5 figures or something like that, but it's probably horrific. I never add it up. I'm not sure that's really how I'm sort of motivated by it. So I like collecting things, as you know. I've got a million collections, and that's the sort of way that I focus on it. So worth quite a lot, much more than I'd have been willing to spend on it myself. But thanks to you guys that get to live vicariously through me, and we all get to buy stupid things we would never have bought otherwise. So hopefully that's enjoyable for everyone.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know if you did mention your Patreon supporters and your members who obviously
who are absolute legends. Yeah, without you guys, we couldn't be buying any of this super frivolous stuff. I mean, a second monorail base, which I need to be building on soon, and starting the idea of an Ninjago city. This just would not be possible without your support. So thanks as always for that. Long may it continue.
Yeah, and very generous gifts as well.
Oh God, and that, yeah, because then there's the things that people send me, and some of those have been crazy generous, and some of them have been really, volumes of bricks, absolute weight, and it's all been vital, and I've been, used it all, so it's absolutely staggering what some people have sent in. I mean, that's really humbling, actually. It just shows what the channel means to people, and that's another thing that keeps it going. That's why I was saying it's more important than just that number going around. It's the kind of love in the room, So, group hug, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I would very much say it's not your Lego city, it's your entire community. Lego city.
Yeah. I'm just sort of custodian, I suppose.
Yeah. Right, next question from the Matthew Craig. Happy New Year, Hoods. May your quiver never quaver.
Okay.
That was hard to say. Do you ever buy a set for parts and then find yourself not wanting to break it up once built?
Not anymore. I suppose I'd buy a second-hand set maybe that I already had because I knew it had great parts because I wanted, the side build or something like that maybe. But not then I wouldn't feel too bad about breaking it up. I don't buy sets just for the parts because there's always a more economical way of doing things, really. And I do enough hauls and things to make that economical. So probably not. I buy sets that I've got no way of using, like all the stunt stuff and things that I'm like, that's cool, I'm buying that. And then I think, how's that going to fit in the city? And the answer is it probably never will it? But, sometimes, the compulsion as a collector just to own something is just too great and you have to give in. So, I say embrace it. You only live once.
Right, final question in this section from JJF Lego. Is that JJ Fields?
That's one of the fields, I think. Yeah.
Hello again. will you in future use under your tables where the boxes are?
It's so difficult because there's boxes there. So I was at one point thinking of doing a sort of second train loop under there just to sort of store the trains, but also be able to enjoy them when they went in use on the top deck. And then I thought, well, I'm still potentially doing not even potentially, should be doing the mining scene underground. That was supposed to link with the top, but we've used the top area. It's just fraught with complications, really. There's so much stuff under there because that's where I sort of keep my bigger things that you sent in and the leftover vehicle. I've probably got enough vehicles to do the entire roads with a complete refresh without redoing them and things like that. And there's even more planes and stuff like that. And it all takes up a surprising amount of room. So I would love to, but it's so hard to film as well. There's so many table legs and things. I sort of think, ugh, would it be entertaining? You know. So I guess that's what a lot of the things that I don't show is not because I don't want to as such. It's just that I think, well, would you guys be interested? And I think you hardcore ones who are listening to this probably would be, but I don't think it'd get the clicks.
Next lot of questions.
Okay.
And this is. I'm going to just read out some names of people who have asked the same question and then read you the question. So we've got Connor Wilson, Crying Brian, Mr. Silly. Curious to hear about the future of Brick Nottingham. How do you plan to expand a city that has no free base plates left? Especially because it seems like we're getting close.
Yeah, we are getting close. We do have some. And we've also got some underutilised areas, just like with the pizza restaurant and so on that I just did. So there's definitely space for more stuff. And then there's the underground and things like that I just mentioned. But I think a new area would be excellent. That was a little bit bigger. And I think we can do a sort of, well, it's not really an announcement, really.
I think it is. It's a pre-announcement.
It's sort of a pre-announcement of a potential announcement. So, well, we're in very, very early doors, sort of consideration of another space that it's not as simple as just moving in. It would require sort of builders, real men with real bricks, as opposed to me with little plastic ones coming in and doing some work. So we need to cost that out, see if it's a goer, see if it's something we want to go ahead with. And then if it were, and that's a big if, then that would give us the next sort of step up in size and space and so on from this, which would technically be, well, the fourth. This is currently the third incarnation, though. The first two are quite brief, I must say. So it would be Brick Nottingham, in my mind, Brick Nottingham 2.0. So that would be really amazing. But A, it isn't happening tomorrow, even if it is happening. And B, well, I don't know. I have no idea what it would cost to make the area accommodate
but
new Lego City.
But we are looking, and we reckon that it might give you up to 50% extra space. So it would be a sizable increase.
And all those things that I did, and I thought, oh, I would have probably done that differently if I, did it again. We can do that. So I'm quite excited, but I keep telling my, pinch myself saying, it is too premature. So don't get too excited or expect, and it will take a while for them to do, even if we do go ahead.
But we have reached out to a builder.
We have reached out to a builder.
In terms of moving this forward, yeah. we are actively reaching out to a builder so we can get quotes.
Yeah.
So another question was, how much money is it going to take to bribe Mrs. Hood into allowing an expansion to the room for Brick Nottingham? The answer is none. I fully support you, And,
but we'll also get our spare bedroom back.
And I will get my spare bedroom back. That is my payment.
So that is the payment technically. So yeah, all good.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I hope we can make it work.
Yeah.
Right. Load of questions now about Bricklink, because you are a Bricklink expert.
Yeah.
So, hi. This is from Jackal Brick. Hi, Robin. I love the channel and enjoy watching all of your videos, including brick hauls. Have you got any tips on how to best optimise your shopping trips in Bricklink? I have a few projects on the go at any one time, and it seems to take me ages to find the best combination of stores to use to get the best bang for my buck. There must be a better way.
Yeah, it is a problem. And I encountered the same thing. And sometimes I get great economy and sometimes I don't. And like anything, scale kind of helps, because no one seller's got all the bricks you need or want. I think one thing is to try and be versatile. I mean, like when I designed Fast Food Corner, even though the parts were in existence, they were so spread to the sort of four corners of the earth that I couldn't get them in any sort of economy at all. And you can't just be buying one set of bricks from one person and another from another. So I ended up changing a few design things to accommodate that. But after that, the only way I've done it, I think I've mentioned this before, is to try and do as many designs as possible. So when I'm doing really well, I've probably got 10 things that I've designed, say, and then I'm buying, and you use the remarks bit so you can comment which project they're for, and then be buying for all of those. So you're just buying, probably 10% of each project at a store. And if the price of one particular brick is crazy, because I mean, some people will charge 3 times the cost from Lego for a tile or something, just because they know they've got you with the other stuff. You leave that behind and just know you'll get there one day. And if you keep adding projects, that's the theory, at the sort of top end, then the ones at the bottom end will fall out when they're sort of completed. It's easy said and done, even for me. It's an absolute military organization, moving things between wanted lists when you've got that part, so you still know what it's for when it arrives and so on. I've also got the thing that I've got a film in the middle as well, so there's another added complication. And then don't forget that Lego bricks and pieces also do quite a lot of parts. So generally, when when I do my lists, I split them into 2 sets of parts. Ones that Lego does, that if worst comes to worst, I'll pay full Lego price and get them brand new. And ones that Lego doesn't do. Those are the ones that you need to really prioritize getting, because there's only one place you can get them, and that's Bricklink. And then basically, then I would add the most important of those, the absolute most vital, say half dozen. Or, well, I have a list called important, and I put on all the really rarer parts that are in few stores on that. And then I use the wizard. So I'd say buy all, the button buy all at the top right for that entire important list. And then just see who in the UK has got the most unique lots of things that are on my important list. So if somebody's basically got, say, 6 things, the yellow piece for that, the red piece for the other project, the extra hard to find bits for this, then I go, right, I'm going to buy at this store, and then I buy as much of the more generic stuff as I can, that's reasonably priced while I'm there.
So how many wanted lists do you have live at one time?
I start off with a list for a project just to get it right, and also to see what I've already got in my collection to knock them off. And then I sort of have a project bag or box which has got all those parts in. And then I move it on to kind of what that part is, like the source I'm going to get it. So I have a bricks and pieces list, which I'd gladly buy off Bricklink, but I know I don't need to. And that one I might even sort of remind myself, that a tile costs 7p, so definitely don't buy any for more than 7p sort of thing. Then I have that important one where these are the vital parts. Without this, the no build is going ahead. Then I have like the generic list. And then I have loads of other lists, so I have one called Maybe Not, for example, where I just discover a piece and go, oh my goodness, that is an awesome piece. I don't need it, but if one comes up, I want it being brought to my attention. So essentially that would be another list, for example. So I probably have about half a dozen lists, and then I have another half dozen, which are the ones I've already got, and I just sort of store them in there, so I know that I've got those parts and what they're for, because otherwise I get a piece and I think, what on earth was that for?
It genuinely amazes me you have time to do any filming any week.
Yeah, well, this is what I do when you've gone to bed. So when you go to a store, you might have found the store using your important list, but then you turn on also search that for your maybe not list and go, oh, that's good, but it's £4, I'm not paying that. Or you do your generic list, or you do your bricks and pieces list if it's the right price, and so on. So yeah, it's a logistical nightmare, really.
And you're doing this constantly, because I mean we always have packages arriving.
If the American football game's a bit boring, I just do a bit of Bricklink and then look up when something interesting happens, and that's quite a pleasant. I'll probably do that this evening.
It's playoff games, no.
Yeah.
Jonk2140, how do you find such good stickers to add details to your builds on top of the ones that you are actually gifted? Because you're gifted a lot of fantastic stickers.
People know I like stickers, and some people don't. So my favourite people in the world are people who don't like stickers, because they either give them or sell them to me. How do I find such good ones? Well, I have bought so many stickers and brick hauls, I mean, what's my brick haul number up to? Like 177 now, something like that. So essentially, if I buy a sheet or more for every one of those, I've got such a repository. So when I did, for example, that torpedo wagon from the foundry, I basically looked through all the ones I had, and I just buy interesting looking ones if they're a reasonable price. I always search the entire of Bricklink store, by the way, for things that aren't on any of my lists, just to go, oh wow, I didn't know that existed, or definitely the sticker sheets, or any of the stickered or decorated parts categories. And then that one was off a sort of Technic monster truck or something, and I just thought, oh wow, I really love the iconography. I'll just buy it, 50p, something like that. And then when I flipped through it again when I was building that thing, I was like, this is perfect. This is what's happening. I'm going to do this. And that's partially what caused the color scheme to be what it was, and so on. So it's sort of an iterative process. You might have the idea, as I did in that part one, then look at the stickers you could use and then go, now I need it to match this.
So it's sort of almost like an iterative process that you'll have a thought, see the stickers.
Yeah.
I mean, the question wasn't about how you use stickers, it was how you buy stickers, but...
Bricklink. But, I think that's the creative process there. You can't do it in one go. You kind of got to do something, then go away and think, golly, it would be better if it did this, or what stickers would I put on it, or whatever, and then it might inspire something else.
I must admit, we were looking at GBC yesterday because you were fixing it, and I haven't looked at that for ages because it's in the second standing hole and I never go in the room. And actually, it's the stickers that make it, isn't it? It's the stickers on that one. I think they work really well.
Yeah. It always adds a lot more detail to stickers. I think I don't quite get the people who don't like stickers, but as I say, I do love them.
Right, final question in this section from Leadman AFB. What are your tips to clean bricks that just got delivered? This is another industry in our household.
Well, this is, and it's one that I could do without, to be honest. But yeah, any used brick I basically wash because I don't know. It's just something I have to do. I assume they've all been in a child's mouth, and then it's quite easy then to find the time to do it. So essentially, you can get laundry bags for your washing machine, for your clothes, for delicates that sort of zip away a delicate inside a bag. So I use those just to keep all the small parts together, because otherwise it's a bit of a nightmare with them going down the plug hole or something. And then I just wash the whole bag full of generic parts and bounce them around, basically the same as you do normal washing up. Just washing liquid and detergent and your hands, just bouncing it around quite a bit, nice and hot water, but only hand hot. And then stickered pieces I do individually with a nail brush, taking as much care of it as possible. Don't worry about the fact the sticker's half off. It's already lost the stick on that, but you can put that back on, as I've shown in my videos and things. So I do those individually, and I do printed parts or metallic parts separately because they can sometimes not appreciate being in water too long. And that is it. And then I just let them dry, and probably give them a rinse as well if it's very soapy, just so they don't dry with a pattern on them. And then you just leave them in the sun for a bit, also hang up the whole bag really. So yeah, it's a bit of a process, but there's no real technique to it. And then things like cloth capes and stuff, you just rub with a finger, basically, just like you're rubbing a sore bit of skin or something like that, just very carefully in circular motion. And you can always wash it twice if it's quite grimy.
Yeah. It is a production line sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, the kitchen has often got a drying parts section to it, yeah.
Yeah, and if I need to find one of these bags to do washing in, I know where to look, which is Lego Room.
Yep.
Right, fantastic. There were a couple of other people that asked questions in that Bricklink question, and I submerged them together. So for everyone that asked a question about Bricklink, thank you very much. I'm sorry I didn't read all of your individual names out. So we're now going to move on to the next section, which is a number of questions just about Lego.
That's what we do here.
Yep. So question here from Dan Shewell, which is, hi Robin, thank you for the hours of work you put into the channel for us. I think we've talked about the fact that there are more hours than possibly anyone ever imagined.
It's all my time, all my free time.
What one theme would you wish that they released, but you know they never will due to Lego's ethical approach?
Oh, golly, that's a hard one. Yeah, because Lego have got this really weird ethical approach where they had this Technic helicopter, and it turned out that it also had one military application. It was a bit, I don't know, the American military or something like that. And then they pulled the whole set from release. and it never hit the shelves at all, and people were really looking forward to it. So people have tried to sort of backwards build it, but yes, it's weird. They're a bit over the top on that, if you ask me, because I think it was a Coast Guard civilian helicopter mainly as well. Golly, so what would I do? It'd have to be some sort of theme, sort of film theme or something like that, wouldn't it? Golly, I don't know. I might have said Dune, but they've started doing that. I wouldn't mind a few more. Yeah, well, they've done the ornithopter. Is it ornithopter?
Yes,
the sort of
thing that looks
fly
like a
dragonfly
fly.
thing. Yeah. They've done that. It's massive as well. I'm not sure. I sort of want it, but I don't know where on earth it would go. It's huge. Yeah, but I mean, wow. I want if they did a massive sandworm, I'm buying that. So that would be quite cool. I don't know. I'd just be happy with more Alien Cantina, Alien Conquest stuff. I think. I swear there was a rumor that they'd done a really big set that was going to be a third wave of Alien Conquest, and they never released it. Or so, I don't know. But anyway, I think most of the stuff you can get around. A lot of people do World War II stuff, which is very popular. Using Lego bricks, and I've made enough bars and pubs in my city, which Lego would never release. So, yeah.
And you've got a lot of sort of big armoured stuff for super secret police, haven't you? So, I mean...
Oh, yeah, well, they do guns on all sorts of other things that aren't...
you haven't got violence in your city.
Yeah, well, their Exoforce stuff had huge guns. Star Wars has got guns on it. Everything's got guns. It's just real-life military, but, yeah, anyway.
Good question, though. Thank you. Next question from Stuart Walker. Is there a set or theme that you would like to see Lego create in the future? And are there any Holy Grail sets you wish you could buy? I think you've sort of mentioned, you've maybe talked about the first bit of the question, but are there any Holy Grail sets?
Well, I mean, a double Horizon Express would be good, but I mean, that's just another train that would just displace another one. So one of the reasons, even when it was less expensive, I didn't buy that was because, if you're just going to put an orange pointy nose train on instead of a white pointy nose train, it seems a bit over the top, really. And then there's the Maersk one that I've missed. I could have bought that, but it's a bit too wide for my tunnels, so I didn't. But now you sort of think, oh, do I need that? And the answer is probably no, realistically. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having a few of the sort of classic space sets for nostalgia from the original collection that we don't talk about now because it's gone to the collection in the sky. But what else would I have? I don't know. That's quite a hard one. I've been very lucky in being able to accumulate as much as I have, of course. So I don't have any huge regrets, but they're just so ridiculously priced now. I was thinking of doing a second subway train, and just those Spider-Man train carriages, they're well over £100 each. I bought them for like sort of £20 or something. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, they've just gone off the map.
Wow.
So, yeah, we'll never have a second subway train that matches in Brick Nottingham, whether it be Brick Nottingham 2.0 or not, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, this is a me question rather than anything anyone's asked, but I mean, I don't know much about old modulars. Are there any old modulars that are very cool that you...
Sort of is the answer to that. So the old one, the oldest one, the first one, Cafe Corner, it looks really good from the outside. It's completely empty on the inside. Now, given that they're so black and hard to see into, it doesn't really matter because you don't really take the lid off many of them. But it's surprising. And the first one with any real interest on the inside, I would have it probably be the town hall. There's one that's an old, very American sort of looking fire station. It doesn't look British at all. So I didn't like that. I could have bought that new. I was doing Lego then. And the pet shop one, there's a sort of thin pet shop, which I still don't like. And I could have bought that first, directly from Lego without having to sort of resort to the secondhand market. So I missed about 4 or 5 or 6, but I managed to get 2 of those, being the Town Hall and the Grand Emporium. So there's none that I'm desperate to get, actually. So that some of them got some good architectural features, but no, I'd almost rather now, especially now that I'm more into it, I'd rather make my own. Rather do that courthouse, to be fair. But they are Grail items for a lot of people.
Well, let's put it this way: you were a very lucky boy.
Well, I keep getting sent Grail things. It's like I never thought I'd own half of the crew, of all the forest men that I've got on my desk, and then people just start sending me in all the missing ones, including one that I must have known it was there, but then I looked at the price and thought, oh, well, I'll never get that, so I'll just ignore that. So I'd forgotten it even existed. So when I got sent it, I was like, is that real? Is that an actual one? And it is. Amazing what I get sent.
No, it is absolutely astounding. Right, sorry, we've got a few questions that are quite similar, so I'm just going to scroll down. But Clutchmore City and Andy Poole, thank you for your questions, but I think we've covered them already. Question from Bricks Pong. Of the new piece elements in 2023, what has excited you to use or apply in a different building technique? And are there any particular things you're excited about for 2024?
I still haven't got one piece I'm quite excited about, which is this sort of is a clear bar piece that's curved. It's on a lot of the Marvel things. It's like a new dynamic sort of action piece. Because I mean that small one that we got in the collectible minifigures DC ones, wasn't it? That enables people to be positioned on their feet or whatever in an interesting pose. That is an absolute game changer. And this one is similar, I think. So that one I'll be able to have people flying in different directions. Maybe I'll put some on my Brick Nottingham Post building, but definitely under the sea. So I'm waiting to get some of those. So that is probably the most exciting individual piece. Apart from all the wonderful animals we had in the last line that just started hitting bricks and pieces, I've made my order for the newer shark, the big turtle, and the polar bear cubs and stuff. So that will be arriving soon, hopefully, Lego. So yeah, there's some really good new pieces coming.
That's fab.
Yeah, because I technically need to make an Arctic scene, and I've got polar bear cubs as well as penguins, and people have said I should do a combined North and South Pole, but every fibre of my soul says that that's impossible.
The
So
pedantry is strong in this
one.
one.
The pedantry is too strong, so I might have to pick one or the other.
I mean, I do find it interesting that Lego are releasing pieces that sort of fit in with what you're planning to do. It's almost like Lego watches your channel.
I swear to do. That shark going around thing was a bit similar to my shark going around thing in their supermarket with the spill outside, and they did pink milk and I'd done milk. I don't know.
Suspicious. Very quick question from Mackie No. Will you get the new Lego Orient Express set?
No, it's too long. It won't go around my corners. And it's a bit similar to my Flying Knotsman, to be fair. I mean, I based the design of my Flying Knotsman a bit on the real life carriages of the Orient Express. I changed the colour, partly because of that comment we talked about earlier about trying to find the parts that actually exist rather than you'd wish existed. Dark blue just didn't have much stuff, basically. So I decided to go for dark green, which kind of fits really well anyway. And and I made very much the curved rooftops in that white. I think mine's slightly better than theirs, but mine's only 6 wide as well, and therefore is in Lego proportions. But I build in the Lego City style, and that one's done in like sort of real life style. It's trying to be accurate, so the carriages are realistic, but they're ridiculously long. They wouldn't go around my corners. What are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing because that, folks, is Robin's yes or no answer.
Oh, right.
To a quick question.
No.
Oh my lord.
Well, when you say yes or no answer, I thought
you decided to launch on an essay. No, this is fine. You know, it's very, very
It'll be a long
interesting.
video, but anyway.
Right. We are now on the final set of questions,
Okay.
which I've called Robin and Mrs. Hood and fun/random questions.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's do this.
Right.
Quick fire, is
it? Well, we can try. Brick Artisan, Happy New Year to the Hood family. Happy New Year to you. My question is, if there is a theme set or mock that you and Mrs. Hood could work on together, what would it be and why?
That we could work on together? That might be tricky because you're really not into this thing called Lego too much, are you? What? You like the ones that move and the rides and things, don't you?
I do. I think I'm more of the fact that I am your sounding board.
Oh, you're brilliant at that, yes.
So I'm...
Should it be this or should it be this? And you're like, oh, definitely that,
Yeah. I do remember when you were doing the Japanese restaurant with the fish tanks and you showed them and I said, no. And you were very upset. And
I was quite pleased with what I did. But then what happened at the end was better. So,
yeah.
No, Mrs. Hood is great for, a good quality control type person.
Yeah. Now, I will say, I appreciate the art. I appreciate the hobby and I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I'm not that keen. So I'll
You
continue
sometimes like
doing
arranging
what I do.
minifigures in
Oh yeah.
interesting poses, but that's about it. That sounded
Sounded dirty.
that sounded dirty. but
No,
it wasn't
what
that.
I do is I try and set up my own funny scenes,
Yeah.
and then Robin rearranges them back to how they were before.
Yeah.
And tries very hard to say, "Don't touch my stuff."
Yeah, you're like, that person doesn't come with that. That's all wrong now. No, yeah.
When the Lego pieces are drying, I quite often put heads and hair and bodies together that don't go together.
Yeah. I think that's too annoying me. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so I think lovely thought, Brick Artisan, probably not going to happen. Brick Toy Guru and Clayton Dixon both asked the same question, which is, what line of work are you in, and what other hobbies are you interested in outside of Lego?
So I work in finance, where I do analysis basically, and I spend my life in spreadsheets essentially. So that's good because it's enjoyable, but I can just put it down. It's not creative, so that's where my creative sort of need in a way comes from, because it doesn't sort of there's the right way and the wrong way of doing something with that. It doesn't allow much latitude. So yeah, but it gives me enough time on the side to just put that down and then focus on this. So that's good. And then hobbies, we like going out. Mm-hmm. We like American football. Mm-hmm. I like playing games and things like that. So board games.
You love board games.
Yeah. Pinball. Yeah. Just the normal sort of things, really. Whatever I can fit in alongside the Lego and job.
We play Crazy Golf, and you won at that this week.
Yeah. Always got to have date night. Yeah.
Got to have date night. Yeah, he does live a normal life outside of Lego. It's just a busy life because of Lego.
Yeah, Lego fills in every single gap. So when something else goes wrong, that's when I miss a video, just because there's no real, there's no buffer for anything else. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy to say I'm not a Lego widow. We do manage to do.
Oh yeah, you've got to make time for family, haven't you?
Absolutely. Right, there were a few questions that were sort of related to me, so I've sort of linked them all together, and we can sort of answer some of these together. So we've got a question from Mitchell B saying, what's the story behind us meeting, and how long into being together was the Lego interest revealed?
Oh yeah, who's answering this?
I mean, well, we sort of met at work, because I'm in the same profession that
we
Robin
met at
is.
finance training.
We met in financial training.
Hey, how romantic's that? Hey.
So yeah, and probably just leave it there. But we have now been together for half our lives.
For more than half our lives, since the year 2000.
Since the year 2000. So yes, that. How long into being together was the Lego interest revealed? So my reflection on this is that I was at work.
Yeah.
You had been working incredibly hard and decided to treat yourself. And I came home and there was a train on the kitchen counter.
Yeah, that is pretty much right. Yeah.
Probably 4 months later, there was a huge amount of Lego in our house.
I don't think it's that quick and that huge, but yeah, I mean, I'd gone through an absolute slog of several months of work, and when you come out the other side, you're almost blinking in the sunlight. And I don't know how I found myself in Toys R Us, but I was in Toys R Us, and I was sort of almost reminiscing about Lego when I walked past it and thought, oh, I remember Lego. Lego's awesome. And yeah, I saw a train, and it was the white train 60051, and I thought, oh, it's been reduced, and it was reduced to something crazy, like literally half price, like £50 or something. And I thought, what, with all the stuff in it? And I thought, go on then, I'll just do that for a bit of reminiscing. And yeah, so Mrs. Hood came home. That was going round and round on the kitchen counter on the loop that wasn't sort of pinned down, so it sort of slided all over the place. It was hilarious. And then I thought, oh yeah, you can get this stuff on eBay, can't you? So I just bought a little, siding to make a sort of fake bridge. It didn't go up in the air, or it's all flat still. It's just some sort of, just a little bit for it to go through in between. And then, then there was the train sort of yard from 60098. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just buy that, and that can go on the end of a siding. That'll be cool. And and then it kept going. And I built the train shed, 10027. I had to build that. That was my first experience with bricklink, because, how do you get the bricks for something that that expensive and that hard to get. So yeah, I made that with bricks.
But it wasn't that long ago, because I'm thinking it was possibly 8 years ago, 9 at most. I mean, so
Ooh,
actually,
2017. I started the channel May 17, was it?
yeah.
I think.
But you
That's a
had
guess.
you had two Lego rooms before that.
Well, yeah, spread sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, yes, I did.
So I mean, this bearing in mind we've been together since 2000. This only came out of the woodwork in about 8 years ago.
It was unplanned, believe it or not. You wouldn't have thought so. You would have thought somebody who had this much Lego on a big Lego channel now would have had this in plan for the entire time. But no, it literally was quite, organic.
Very organic. And then you were watching Jang Bricks and other things.
And I thought I could do that.
Yeah.
And that is the channel. The channel was born.
There it was born. What do I think about your Lego addiction? Does it find your way into my life as well? I fully support it, but has not.
No, it doesn't.
No. Have I built the Fab 5 set? Now, that was a gift to me. And the question's from Puppet Guy, so it might have been a gift from Puppet Guy. So if it was Puppet Guy, thank you ever so much. Now, I do love the Fab 5 set. It took me a long, long time.
And a lot of reminding.
It is now built.
It is built. It is in pride of place on your shelf.
Yeah, it's in my study. I see it every day. It did hammer home the fact that Lego is not for me. I did find it quite challenging to build that set.
Yeah, you're not naturally hobby in that sort of way, are
but the fact that someone bought it for me was amazing. So thank you. And Puppet Guy, if it was you, thank you ever so much.
And if it was somebody else?
And if it was someone else, thank you ever so much.
Yes.
So another question. We all know Robin's rules for building the city. My question is, what rules do you have concerning migration of Lego out of the room and into the house? I am very anti it being too much in the house. I mean, as you've probably heard, it is in the house because it's in the kitchen when it's washing, and it's part.
Only drying temperature. Nothing lives outside either my build room or the actual Lego room for any time at all.
We like to be able to shut the doors on Lego.
I like that too, to be honest, because I do enough time on it. So so there's no real fight on that. But yeah, there is an unofficial rule which I'm very happy with, that it doesn't migrate anywhere else. So there's not a single set out anywhere else.
No, but you have plenty of space.
Oh yeah,
and as we
it's
said,
not a moan.
You might have even. I know. So another question. This might be a sore one.
All right.
Mr. and Mrs. Hood. Do you have any of your original Lego sets from your childhood collection at all?
No.
This individual, so Simon Stenning, his parents kept pretty much everything from the late 80s and early 90s, and he's still a proud owner of Castle Set 6081 and various others that I won't read out. So do you want to tell everyone?
Transcon, Peer Police, to name a few.
Oh, that does sound like boasting. Do you want to tell people what happened to your
not really.
Lego collection?
Well, let's just say my parents didn't keep my 80s and 90s everything in pristine condition, and nobody has them now that I know of. So they have been lost to the sands of time, and I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, we had loads of classic space. Oh.
I mean, I was going to say, I didn't look after my toys particularly, but you had all of the ancillary bits, all of the instructions. It was pristine.
Yeah. Though, to be honest, old town stuff, which after all is what I'm most into, is a bit clunky. The four-wide car sort of era, though I suppose some cars are four-wide now. But anyway, you know what I mean? They really are quite clunky. So it's no huge loss. I think the classic space is a huge loss, just not least because it'd probably be worth an absolute fortune now. But anyway,
I had a Duplo
Fabuland
truck with a crow and a trash can.
Yeah,
and
we found that set since.
We did find that set since.
Yeah, it's like Colin Crow or something. Colin Crow in his pickup or something.
I quite like that. I mean,
yeah, he's cool. I wouldn't mind getting him, but the paint's always rubbed off the nose.
Yeah.
Or the beak.
I'd have that in my study.
Yeah, I have looked for one, but they're always. You could touch it up with poster paint or something, I suppose.
So bit of a sore question for that. Nothing remains from childhood.
No.
Keema Butter Happy New Year to you and
who
yours.
did the lovely little picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Right. Well, very personal question then. Small scar on your left thumb. Do you remember how you got it? Was it Lego related?
It'd be funny if it was Lego related. got into an argument with some Lego. No, I got into an argument with our garden gate that was kind of rusted, and I kept pulling on it. And yeah, close your ears if you are sensitive to these things. And then all of a sudden it gave way, and I opened it with such force that it ripped half of the skin sort of as a flap off my nail of my thumb, and it was really grim.
But it does mean if you're ever in a Lego store and you see someone with a scar on his thumb,
it's me. It's my identifying mark. Yeah, so I had to basically prod it back in position and then
That's
just
disgusting.
sort of hope
Stop
it
there.
healed.
Stop there. So actually, so given we've just had a question from Kima, this might be a fantastic segue into a question from Jeppe Feelso, and if I've mispronounced that, I apologise wholeheartedly. What is the craziest stroke best thing you've ever gotten in fan mail?
Well, brick-wise, wow. I mean, there's just so many. I've already mentioned the lady, the forest woman. That was pretty amazing. And now I've got two. It's absolutely crazy. So that's pretty amazing. I mean, I think it's almost unfair to single out on the Brits because there's so much good stuff. I mean, that I still haven't used all that lovely undersea stuff. There's the Sharkinator. That's going somewhere. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten it. That is absolutely amazing. That almost made a tear come to my eye, actually, Sharkinator. I'm going to say Sharkinator. But there are so many to compete with. But then I also get sent so much other stuff. And, I always share the pictures and the letters and things from Mrs. Hood and the photos of your city. I really like them. And sometimes just the comments are some of the best things I get. Absolutely adore it when people say, we sit down as a family and we all watch and enjoy watching Robin Hood Bricks. Do you remember that comment from that boy who...
Oh, was on holiday.
We went on holiday to Wales. And then he'd also gone on holiday to Wales. He's like, where's Robin? And he thought we were all in the same place. So, I mean, that was just amazing. And then people send me art and things they've drawn and videos of their builds, which are either the same as mine. I mean, a few people have made a full fast food corner and sent me the pictures. People have got modified versions. When I asked for GBC builds, there was wagons going around a brick fair in Australia with GBC containers on the back and stuff like that. So I mean, that's just really good to know that not just that you enjoyed the video, but I sort of touched you enough to sort of make you get your bricks out or your pens out or whatever it might be. I mean, Kima, with that picture, I mean, that's absolutely amazing. That might be the best thing I've ever been sent. Including the picture that I'm planning to use as the backdrop. So you should be staring at it now, which is just a render done by Joshua, but it's a really nice one. I don't know how you do these things. You'll have to tell me how you even make a render like that. But unless you just did it on a studio, I don't know. But anyway, it looks absolutely amazing.
And you've also had some amazing collaborations as well. Like, the chap you collaborated on your sticker at the back of your cabinet.
Oh, golly, yes. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, so the huge backdrop that's on the back of the 20,000 Bricks Under the Sea cabinet was designed by a subscriber to the channel. And I gave him quite a big brief and we sort of to and froed and this rock needs to be higher or darker or this. And then he got that wonderful sort of sunlight effect that's going through the whole thing. Oh, it's just astounding. An absolute agony to put on the back of that cabinet, wasn't it?
Well, that was a bank holiday weekend.
Wow.
We won't get back.
Yeah.
So basically, you've got some fantastically generous and fantastically creative people who subscribe.
Yeah, it's just great. And the suggestions I get, I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah, it is the product of all of us. So it is our channel. I may be the custodian of it, but it is our channel, yeah.
Great questions. So Knobbly Bricks. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Hood. My question is, when are we finally going to see your face on your videos? Mine, never.
Well, I always said 100,000 subscribers. And when
third of the way there.
Well, over a third of the way there. I mean, when I was about 20,000, I was growing quite fast. It sort of slowed down since. I thought that, that might be in the realms of possibility. But it seems now I was sort of working out how long it'd take me another decade at this rate. So, yeah, it's not going to be for a while, is it? It's not that I'm adverse to putting my face on. I've always said it's more like it's not really about me. It's about the bricks. And another thing, Yeah, I don't want to be doing hair and makeup, quite frankly, for each video. It's taking long enough as it is. So, you know, I make sure my nails aren't disgusting, so you don't have to stare at some dirty nails but on my hands. But, yeah, I think probably never. Well, unless we get to that thing, then I'll be glad. I'll hold my YouTube play button.
Yes.
With pride.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm not hiding.
And then never do another video again.
Yeah, draw a line under it. Right, that's it.
Right, mic drop.
Yeah, mic drop. I'm out. Yeah.
Lovely. Penultimate question here. From Joshua Morrison. Why is X-Men the only Marvel that you like?
Saturday morning cartoon when I was growing up was the X-Men, and I loved that. Generally speaking, I don't watch it now. So anything that's new that's coming out now, these movies, yeah, I'm not a mass fan. So I just don't know what's going on. They've made up so many new characters. Never bought comics. So yeah, I love X-Men. That literally is the only one, I think.
Is that, and that was on Disney Plus, wasn't it? We'd watched a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're still quite good, but
yeah,
I haven't got the time to sit down and watch all that. But yeah, they are cool.
Final question.
Yeah.
The most random question you're ever going to have.
Okay.
You were pre-warned. There's a very random question.
You said there was a random question, but not what it was. Yeah.
Non-Lego related.
Okay.
From Giant Silver T-Rex.
Right.
Which might be a clue.
Which is an awesome name. Okay.
Robin, if you could eat one kind of dinosaur egg, what would it be and how would you cook it?
Right.
Speechless.
Well, it'd have to be a T-Rex egg, wouldn't it?
A giant silver T-Rex egg?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I think I'd have it boiled because I'd have it with soldiers, but the soldiers would be whole baguettes.
Or like proper soldiers.
Proper soldier-sized soldiers made out of bread that I'd just dunk in this huge egg, yeah. So I think that's how I'd cook it. Was that both parts
that's
of it?
fine. I would go poached.
How about you? You'd go poached?
I would go
for T-Rex though?
I out of lack of any other one that goes to mind.
I could use a Stegosaurus as a toast rack for my soldiers, couldn't I? So maybe it should be a Stegosaurus.
On that note, shall we leave it there?
Yeah.
I think fantastic questions, everyone. Thank you ever so much. I hope that was of interest.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Hood, for being such a delectable compere, as per.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.
See you.
So, as always, thank you very much for listening. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And if you appreciate this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll be doing a brick haul. And if you want to send something to a future brick haul, you can to the usual PO Box address. And then on Friday, we'll be doing another build in the city. Or maybe even the cabinet. I haven't decided yet. But whatever we get up to, I'm sure we'll have great fun. So until then, see you! Yeah, that was really good. Thanks.